Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So back in 2019, I promised myself and the channel that I would do a series called the 50 States of Treasure Hunting series. If you want to see those videos, you can go over to my playlist right here. You can see that I got about 30 of those states done, but I didn't get them all done, right? And that's kind of what this video is about. I want to finish this thing up. It's been 5 years since I started it. And then 2020 hit, we all know what happened there. And then I bought a house, which I renovated, so that took a lot of time. And then I built this studio that I'm sitting in right now. I built a, gold pay dirt company. I started a guitar building business. I built all these guitars that you see behind me here. And I just kind of didn't have enough time to finish up this series that I promised you guys. So I apologize for that, first of all. But I think it's time to get back out on the road and finish it up. So now, I have a 2019 Toyota Tacoma, and I wanted something self-contained. I took the passenger seat out of my Tacoma. I put some plywood down. I'm 6'2". I can't lay down in there no matter what I did. I thought about having a tent, but it was just a little bit too minimal for me. I didn't want a trailer. I didn't want a camper or anything like that. So I think I found the perfect solution, especially for my truck. And let me show you guys what I found. It's pretty darn awesome. It's called the Tune M1. It is basically a camper that fits in the bed of your truck with a king-size bed in it. That was like the main issue. I needed something to lay down. It's basically a pop-up. You could stand in the back. It's like 6'3" or something there for tall guys. And it's just pretty much exactly what I think I need. Now they're a little pricey. They're like $13,000 base price that before you start adding options. It's really minimalist. For the truck, it weighs about 300 or 400 pounds only, which isn't a whole bunch. It's a whole lot better than dragging a camper around, and I think this is pretty much perfect. So, and the thing is, they're based in Colorado, so I actually went over and visited them today, and I told them, I'm like, hey, I have a YouTube channel, and I plan on doing this 50 States of Treasure Hunting series, and we made a deal. They gave me a little bit off of one of their campers in return for making a video, which I told them I was going to make a video anyway because this is a really cool product. But they gave me a discount, and yeah, let's go ahead and build this thing out real quick, and then we'll purchase it, and then we'll fast forward in time and you guys will actually see the thing. So let's add some accessories here. All right, my truck make is a Toyota. It's a 5-foot short bed. I've got a charcoal canopy cover. For the camper body panels, I chose tempered glass, driver side and back. Those are basically windows that open. Here it says camper blackout. I chose the blackout package. I got a sliding window for the cab access window. And then for mattress configuration, I got the king size extender with the Hest mattress and the custom Hest extension. So for mid-sized trucks, it gives you a king-size bed in there. That's like the main thing I wanted. Now for the rest of these options, there's a power supply, solar, heating, awning, accessory pack, all this other stuff I don't really need. They offer the Goal Zero Yeti 1500 wired with mounting bracket power supply. But for me, in the back of a Tacoma, there's already a receptacle there. So I don't really need that. Same thing with solar, I don't really need that. If I want to get Starlink internet, I could definitely get that, and I can power it with the truck itself. So I don't see that as a necessity. Same thing with the heating solution. They do offer a full Truma heater kit and insulation pack. It's almost $3,700, but I have a tent heater. I think it was like $200 on Amazon, and that thing heats up like a 5-man tent, right? So I think I'll just use that. Just being minimalist here. I don't need an awning, I don't need the accessory pack, and that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and enter my information here, and we'll get to purchasing it. All right, there we go. They'll get back to me in 24 hours. So I'm really looking forward to this thing. I didn't even really know that this type of product existed for a Toyota Tacoma, and when I saw it, and I saw somebody standing in the back of this thing, I was like, yeah, it's probably not 6 feet. I probably couldn't stand up in it. But I went over there to the factory today. I stood up in the back of one, and it really is nice in there. And so I'm actually really excited to get this thing. Plus, if I wanted to go down any trails and, camp in some remote area, chances are a trailer can't make it all the way back there. There's a ton of excuses and reasons why I don't want a trailer and why I think this thing is perfect. But anyway, I'll let you guys know as soon as we get this thing to the next step. All right, guys, it's about 2 days later, and I went ahead and purchased it. They sent me, well, you have to put a $500 deposit down. I did that. And then they sent me an invoice, and it had to be paid off in 2 installments. The price was a total of $14,300 something dollars. So they're definitely not cheap, but I mean, for one, I need it for the, well, I mean, it's kind of luxurious for what I need. Like I said before, I could get a camper or something, but I really didn't want like a trailer, or like I could use a tent, but you can't always find level ground. And of course, they're not bear-proof or nothing. I mean, the truck technically isn't bear-proof either, but it's a lot better than sleeping in a tent. These are all the different reasons that I'm talking myself into being psyched up for spending almost 15 grand on a camper in the back of my truck. The camper's going to be ready. They have to like order it and then put it together, customize it from all those options. And then January is when it'll be installed on the truck. Another thing I forgot, I was talking, I did like a video call before I placed the order. I did a video call and we talked about it. The guy really did talk me into buying the ceiling fan. It's like an exhaust fan. He said it's really good because you can set it to a temperature and it'll regulate that temperature all night, and it prevents condensation. So I mean, it was an extra $500, and it is professionally installed right into the roof and everything. So I figured, okay, that's probably a good idea. It's probably a lot. It's a big headache that I wouldn't have to deal with if I tried doing it myself, which I probably would want some kind of a fan in there, and that just made the most sense. So he talked me into that. He did talk me into getting a power supply as well. The receptacle is fine for certain things, but the truck has to be running. And also the power supply that they offer, that whatever it's called, that thing is $1,500 for the same, basically the same product, but a different brand name. You could get something like $700. So I'm going to go ahead and order one of those and save a couple $100. What else? Yeah, because he was talking about, yeah, you can have a fridge in there. You know, it's always good to have a little refrigerator, of course. So, I mean, how convenient and awesome would that be to have a little kitchen in the back of your truck? And of course, I can build out like a little cabinet and stuff, and I'll show you all that later in the video. But anyway, enough rambling. I will keep you updated. All right, November 7th, 2024. Hey, good morning, guys. It is January 6th, 2024. I'm in my Tacoma. We're headed over to Tune Outdoor to get the M1 installed on the back of the truck. I've been waiting since I think I ordered it in like October. So it's been a couple months I've been waiting. You've already been watching the intro to this video. We're gonna go over there now. We're gonna get it installed, and I'll try to film some of the process. So one thing I wanted to show before getting this thing installed was that I get about 15 miles per gallon before the camper install. All right, I'm here at the Tune headquarters. There's my truck. And that, I assume, is the camper right there. That's gonna go on the back of the truck, obviously. It's got the fan on the top. I had her go and ask if they can install a solar port on the top, because I did not get solar panels. Like you can see some of these, a lot of them have solar panels installed. So we'll see if I can get that real quick. All right, can't record very long. They have music in the background, but this guy is installing a solar port on top of the camper. Awesome, look at this place. They make them right here, back in there. Sorry for the background music. All right, we got it installed. Getting ready to leave.
best part is how far out it comes. I got all that extra room on the inside. I'll show the inside later. Yeah, nice. Today, we're gonna try to lay out some kind of living situation in the back of my Tune M1 camper here, the back of my Toyota Tacoma. This is a 5-foot bed. Basically, all I'm gonna do is lay this thing out, try to come up with some kind of layout where it's gonna be semi-permanent. I'm gonna do a wooden floor here, so I have something to screw to mount basically everything down to. I can also mount right here to the rails here or back here. I think, yeah, these are T-tracks here as well. This thing's really simple to open. It's got 4 latches all the way around. All right, puppy, good boy. So this is what it looks like when it's extended or popped up, I guess you would say. Get up in there and I'll show you. I just laid in this bed for the first time. My feet touch the one wall and my head touch the other, but laying this way, it is just long enough where my feet aren't hanging off the side or anything. So if you're 6'2" or taller, you're not going to be able to sleep this way. And then after using 2 hands, you lift this piece up and then it slides right underneath. So then you have all of this room here. So as you can see, there's a window on that side. It's not a window, it's just a door that opens. And then the same thing over here. That one also opens. There's windows, one here, 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 and there, all the way around. They just unzip like that, and then they Velcro like that. I can open this fan manually, but the fan won't spin until I have it wired up, so I have to do that. It also comes with a remote for the fan. What else? I have to wire in the 3rd brake light right there. And yeah, I'm just gonna kind of, spend a little bit of time back here just standing up and looking around, thinking about what I need. So I got some planning to do, and I'll get back to you after that. Right, buddy? All right, so this is the idea. This is the floor mat, the rubber floor mat. And I just took my drywall cutter and followed it around. And then I'm gonna attach that piece of insulation. It's 1-inch insulation. I'm gonna attach it to a piece of plywood, just to have a wooden floor. All right, good morning, everyone. I slept in here last night. How was it, puppy? Cold? It was cold. So I think I am gonna get the insulation for around the inside. They sell that on the Tune website. And I was, I have my socks, wool socks on, wool here, big down blanket, and a warm doggy. And it was really cold. I did wake up a few times overnight. It looks like, I know it's hard to see, but there's ice on the inside of the ceiling, condensation, that frozen. Actually, right above my head there, you can see, it looks like it may have even dripped down, possibly. I'm gonna have to wipe this down. I didn't have the window open all night. I just opened that a few minutes ago when I first woke up. I even wore a hat to bed, and it was cold, but it wasn't unbearable. And now it's time to let them outside. You want to go outside? All right. So this light that goes around, it is powered by a dimmer right here. You can turn it on or off, and depending on how bright it is, It'll use different amounts of power, obviously. And that's just my phone charger overnight. And the light got plugged in like this. This is an Anderson power pole. I had to order an adapter to hook up the fan. That's what this is for. And yesterday, before it got dark, I got some 1-inch insulation fitted in here in the sides and right there at the bulkhead. Well, I'm gonna take him for his walk and then I'll continue working. Yeah, that was actually, the mattress was actually really comfortable. This thing here, it wasn't bad at all. All right, I'll try sleeping in it again. I'm gonna buy a sleeping bag and try it again with a sleeping bag before buying the insulation. So like I said, I am gonna insulate as good as I can. I may actually get the insulation pack. I don't know. It's $500, but it's specifically made for the inside of the top part. I don't really want to get a heater installed or anything. I mean, I guess I could do that, but $3,000 or $4,000, which to me, I'll just get a tent heater and turn the fan on, you know. That's really expensive. But the options are there. I can also get a diesel heater installed. I would have to install it. I don't know how to do that, but I would certainly learn. That's what YouTube is for. Anyway, it is cold. I can't wait to go inside the house where it's nice and toasty. Gotta have my coffee. So I also got to think of ways to mount, where to mount different stuff. I really don't want to go above the window because that'll prevent me looking out of the back. So I got to keep everything, if possible, below the window, just like a small little shelving system here. Maybe like on this side, I can have a larger bench that comes all the way out, that opens up. And then I can store all my prospecting gear inside there. That way I don't have to worry about working around the wheel well and everything. Same thing on this side. I can build out past the wheel well and then just have like a small kind of like path in the middle to get up into the bed. Yeah, I have it kind of written out. None of that stuff, just, you know, just a basic sketch of the dimensions of the back of the truck, and I can add stuff in there as needed. But I'm gonna have my coffee first, and then I'll get back to work. I think I am gonna get that insulation kit, actually. It was real cold last night. Windy and cold out there today. Oh, and just for the record, I actually had my head over here because my phone charger was here, and I was looking at my phone last night before I fell asleep. And I had my head like right there, and my legs were like down in that corner. So that's kind of how I ended up sleeping. So just so you know, you can sleep that way as well. I did notice that my feet were touching this side as well sometimes, which wasn't terrible. So, yeah, you can still sleep this way, even if you're 6'2". Yeah, I'm gonna order the insulation kit just to see how much better it does. And I also have a propane heater that I'm gonna try tonight. The reason I couldn't use the propane heater tonight was because I don't have the fan running. I don't have the adapter to get the fan running, and I don't want to sleep in here with a propane heater going if I don't at least have the fan on low. All right, good morning everyone. I stayed in here again. This is the second night staying in here. It actually went down to about 6 degrees outside. There was no wind though, so at least I didn't have that. Compared to last night, it went down to 11. But it was really cold last night, and it stayed 50 degrees. 51 degrees last night. I also have my floor in, which is the insulation and plywood. And I ran a tent heater, a propane tent heater on low. And it stayed really nice in here. The only problem was those propane heaters like to throw a lot of moisture. And so I had condensation. You can see there's water in there. Behind my head, there's frost. It's a 0 degree sleeping bag. Let me see if I could find the name on it. Excuse me. That's the name of it. Found it on Amazon. It was very affordable, and it was real warm last night. All right, so I just want to install the third brake light, do the wiring for the third brake light. All we have to do is remove the light, take the tail light out. You just pull straight back on the top and bottom. There it is. So what I did is I took the harness, I ran it, you lift up the bed liner right there and you fish it through, and you can easily just grab it through this side. Don't plug it in yet, obviously. Solder seal connector. We'll go ahead and just basically touch the wires together right over the solder seal. Heat it up with lighter, or I can just actually solder it in my shop or bring my soldering gun out, because that thing didn't work. That didn't work very well, so I'm just gonna cut that off, restrip the wires. All right, got some solder here. I'm gonna tin that side. I'll tin everything while I'm here. It's about 20 degrees out. I slept in here last night. It was actually pretty awesome with the heater. All right, got the heat shrink. You always need a third hand when soldering. There we go. Those are soldered together. Got the heat shrink on there. Let's blast it with the torch. And that ain't going nowhere. Now, on this end, we want to attach. I probably shouldn't have soldered that in, huh? I think I want free wires there. Put that on like that. Attach it. That should be spliced in. No, I'm just gonna plug it in here. Can that be seen on camera? I don't think so. So right in here is where you plug this thing. Nothing blew up. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the brake lights. I'm gonna zoom back a bit. I'm just gonna hit the brake lights and then check the video to see if the lights come on. All right, I hope they came on. I can continue working on the floor. Now I was debating on building like 2 really long pull-out drawers here that are 5 feet long to store all my prospecting gear and stuff under my feet. But when I stand here, my head is already touching the ceiling. So that would, if the floor was 8 inches higher or even 5 inches higher or even 2 inches higher, my head would be hitting the ceiling, which I don't want. So my plan, I guess, is to build kind of like from here out maybe 2 feet, 2.5, about 2 feet, come straight down, and then probably come to here to 2 feet out. I'll have to put tape on the, kind of lay everything out with blue tape, and then just build plywood walls, a couple drawers, or I can just have like one big thing that you open and just keep all your gear in it. I would like a tabletop here though. Maybe we can do on this side, we can do the storage, and then on this side I can have my little sink and little induction stovetop and stuff like that. I do want to have some nice stuff built in, and I want to have this mounted in that corner. I had already ordered a small 10-gallon propane tank. It's going to get mounted right here. It has the little mount and everything. That way the propane is outside while heating the inside, because obviously you don't want to have the propane tank in there with you when you're using the heater, because you don't want to, die. And like I said, it's going to be wood at first, and then if I like how it turns out, then I'll upgrade to extruded aluminum, just because wood's a lot easier to change and move around if needed, when needed. So I'm at Home Depot and I got 1 sheet of plywood and had them cut it to 18 inches across, because it's already 4 feet long. So that should be exactly what I need for my cabinets. I got a roll of this stuff to try out. I bought some like marine carpet. I'm gonna use this to glue it down, and then some foil tape to fill any gaps. So So I'm just walking through Home Depot. I'm getting some supplies for the floor and for insulation stuff. And I walked right past these things, and they look like they're about 18 inches long, about 18 inches high. They look like exactly what I was going to build anyway for storage for like prospecting gear and, plates and small stuff. It's actually a really good idea, I think. And then I can just, frame something out around it. And I can change them out. These things, they're like interchangeable, so they lock together. And they're like $100. I mean, after I bought all the slides and everything and built them out out of Baltic birch, not only are these cheaper and faster to put together, but they're a lot lighter too. They're not going to warp or anything. I think this is actually a pretty good idea. All right, back at it again. So I just went ahead and taped off any kind of gaps or seams all the way around after insulating. And I wanted to put in this kick plate here. So it's just angled aluminum. And so I cut these individual pieces to fit all the way around here, this high traffic area. So I cut these pieces out. They'll get screwed down after I get the marine carpet down. Other than that, I haven't really done too much else. I do have all the material for my cabinets and stuff. I don't think I'm gonna make the big giant box on this side like I was thinking before. Like I was gonna come out 18 inches, 18 up, and then have like this big door and everything. That's a whole bunch of wood and weight that I don't really need. And the main reason I needed that box or wanted that box was for shovels and metal detectors and like pickaxe and sluice box and long items. But you know what? I've got T-track all throughout this. I can mount my shovels and everything right on the outside of the vehicle, or even right here. That's all T-track as well. So I mean, there's a ton of options to not store stuff on the inside if I don't have to. I might not store my metal detectors on the outside, but shovels and picks and sluice box and stuff, there's no reason why I can't. So anything to save space on the inside, I think is a good idea. I do need to make some kind of a little cabinet or shelf for my coffee maker, my electric, and this thing here. I can put this in its own cabinet, just have a door that opens and then I have access to all that stuff. Plus it's plastic, it's lightweight. If it gets dirty, I can just clean it. It's not gonna warp. And then my heater, I don't know if that's gonna be permanent. And I also have like I said, I got the smaller 10-gallon propane tank and mount, and that actually mounts right here. Can't really do too much more until I get my carpet in. I wanna carpet this whole thing, carpet the sides. I'm gonna put carpet over that insulation there. And I also bought some of this stuff here. I thought about insulating. This stuff gets really cold at night. It gets all the water and frost on it. I'm thinking of ways to Velcro. I got a whole thing of Velcro here. Like an industrial box of Velcro. So I could just Velcro this stuff in strips along all the, most of the exposed metal. And I think that'll help a lot, especially for cold weather. I'm just learning as I go. I've never actually done this before, but as you can see, I've been kind of laying stuff out with the tape, trying to figure out what and where I want to put stuff. This is all temporary. I definitely don't want this anymore. I'm gonna have this much smaller. Probably gonna have a little sink here, maybe a little induction stove right there. We'll figure it out as I go. All right, guys. Well, I really wanted this to be just one video, kind of like getting the Tune M1 installed and then building it out. There's so much that goes into it. I had no idea. I'm already like 5 days into the process and I'm not even halfway done. Well, maybe halfway done. I got the thing installed and I'm kind of building out the back. Yeah, I guess there'll be like one more video. I thought I could get it all in one, but this video is already like 25 minutes long or a half hour. That's too long. Nobody's going to click on it anyway. But if you have any questions, definitely ask and I'll do my best to answer it for you. And yeah, I'll see you on the next build out video for this Tune M1 camper. So thanks for watching.